Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy Boulanger. And up next, we're going to be talking about a big day for the Baltimore Ravens organization, team, players, and the fans. Do me a quick favor, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's go. So today, Monday, 2/2/2023, big day. And I'm going to say in Ravens history. That may be an overreaction, but I'm going to say in Ravens history. It's the beginning of OTAs. Voluntary, I might add, but OTAs nonetheless. Okay. And it just kind of feels like the start of something new, something fresh, right? And let me speak to why that seems like it is a kind of a regeneration of sorts. You see, we've been in the Lamar Jackson era for 5 years now, 5 complete years, but 4.5 years of game time. Okay. And as Ravens fans, organization, players, team, all those kind of things, we've been in almost mode. We're almost there. Maybe we can get there this year. Maybe if a couple of things fall our way, then this will happen. So it kind of seems like we've been in that kind of mode for a period of time, right? We didn't know what we had when we picked Lamar Jackson in 2018 with the number 32 pick. I don't believe that we knew that fully. There was a lot of criticism. A lot of people said that Lamar should switch to a different position. We heard some running back. We heard some wide receiver. I even heard one TV pundit say that he would have a longer career if he switched to a slot receiver. And, you know, we didn't know that in 2019, um, we would have the first MVP in team history. We didn't know um, that we would go 14-2, but not really be ready to really compete with more diverse, more dynamic teams. And then we go to 2020. I think expectations were still super high based on what we had done in 2019. And we actually won our first playoff game. And then, you know, the 2021 season marred with injury. The 2022 season also marred with some injury. And both of those seasons included Lamar Jackson. And we've kind of drug ourselves through the last two complete seasons, entering those seasons with a lot of hope, and then having that hope snatched away about three-fourths of the way, excuse me, through the season. And we didn't really know um, in 2021 if Lamar would return, but we found out that he didn't. But what would he? But the question is, what would he have returned to? A broken team, secondary injured, some offensive line injured, wide receivers injured. I mean, so what would he have returned to, and what would we have done anyway? First round exit, um, 2022 season. What would he have returned to when near the end of the season we had to turn to guys like Deshaun Jackson and bring back Sammy Watkins when every other receiver had fell on hard times? What would he have returned to? Yeah, we probably could have beat the Bengals for sure. I don't doubt that in my mind, but I'm not going to play that game of if Lamar Jackson had played, because our winning would have stopped after the Bengals. Because when you look around, we didn't have the requisite parts to make the full journey to the Super Bowl. Okay. And so it's kind of been a couple of dry years in Ravens Nation amongst the flock, if you will. Um, again, entering with high expectations, leaving with low expectations, and then to top off two injury-plagued seasons, not just with Lamar, but basically throughout the entire team, you had this dark cloud of a contract issue hanging over our heads, right? And we come into this off season, man, and it was a real difficult off season. I mean, really, um, because there was real concern that Lamar could leave. I don't think that anybody could honestly say that they had 100% faith that he was returning. I don't think anybody could say that because all the calls that were on the table spoke to an exit. Everything from they were talking, then they weren't talking at all. Everything from uh, they were $100 million away. Everything from tweets of contract implications and then a March 2nd trade request Lamar makes to the Ravens, an inactive uh, free agency period, and then Lamar made that trade request public late March, and so it was just been a really tough off season for the fan base. But and I'm sure for the organization, but certainly for the fan base, our leadership had been questioned, and number one, the number one questioner was me. I'm honest, and so we enter into the draft not having a quarterback signed. Draft day, by the way, we entered draft day with a quarterback not signed, and we did pick up a couple of wide receivers. We Odell Aguilar, signed Tariq Black, under the radar, signing that kind of graced the back pages of news. And then right before the draft, you know, it was like all the lights had been cut off in Ravens Nation. But then right before the draft, news broke that Lamar and the Ravens had reached a deal. And the lights began to come on. And then we get into the draft and we pick up Zay Flowers in the first round, adding to basically a rebuilt receiving corps. And the lights get brighter. And then we add some other pieces, in the draft. And then, we come out of the draft near the 1st of May, and things look more stable. They feel more stable. The fan base, I start seeing the fan base make commentary, that, hey, this might be the year, a lot of hope, and then there was a time where the fan base wanted Lamar gone. A lot of them had turned on Lamar Jackson, and I'm a people's guy, so I was always gonna ride with him, no matter where he went, but I always wanted him to be in that Baltimore purple and black and purple, whichever way you like your color scheme to go. And so um then you had rookie mini camp, you know what I'm saying? And we had a lot of buzz coming out of mini camp. We heard about Keaton Mitchell, right? and Videogate, where he had released a video of practice. And we saw some footage of Zay Flowers, doing his thing on the field. We saw some footage of Odell Beckham doing his thing, looking like the Odell Beckham of old, pre-injury Odell Beckham. And so, man, it's like if you was in a stadium and you cut on the top lights, and then somebody in the Lightroom or whatever you call it. I don't know what it's called, but nevertheless, they just start turning lights on gradually. And so now when you look at the Ravens as of today, right, it looks like most of the lights are on. There's a few more things we need to button up, but man, it's like there's been a reset, a resurgence amongst the Raven fan base. There's an excitement that we have not had probably since 2019, 2020 season. And so, I mean, think about all the things that we've had to go through to get to this point. We don't have the contract conversation anymore. That black cloud is gone. Um, we don't have the question at this point if they're going to add some wide receivers because we've done that. This is the best wide receiver group we've had in the Lamar Jackson era. This may be the best wide receiver grouping since Anquan Boldin, Torrey Smith days. This may be that. Talent-wise, maybe a little better, meaning overall skill set. Um, and so all the pieces are coming together, and it just feels like a fresh start. And then the biggest news of all, which I saved to right now, is that Lamar Jackson is expected to be at OTAs today. And that's big news. That's big news because it is voluntary. It's not mandatory. So for Lamar Jackson to want to get into the mix, to want to get on the field with his guys and throw, to develop a chemistry, to learn the playbook firsthand. Like it's easy to look at an iPad or the Surface or some type of device to kind of look at the scheme and look at the plays and all those kind of things. But it's another thing to get on the field and develop that firsthand chemistry, to hear firsthand from Todd Monken what he's looking for, to hear what he's expecting, to hear him coach up the wide receivers, to see Todd Monken's staff. And I say Todd Monken's staff because there is some talk that Todd Monken is a different animal than Greg Roman. Greg Roman didn't seem to have total command of the practice. It was kind of a ho-hum process, but Todd Monken is energetic and live and teaching and showing. I'm excited to hear what I'm hearing about Todd Monken. So to get all of those pieces on the field, the wide receivers coach, the quarterbacks coach, the running back coach, the offensive line coach, and to get those pieces on the field live and active, even if it's for 3 or 4 days, that's big, right? And then to know that Lamar Jackson is healthy, to know that this is going to be a season, basically in 2 full seasons, that Ronnie Stanley should walk into the 2023 season healthy. That's big for your left tackle. To know that Tyler Lindenbaum has 1 year under his belt, and he graded out as a top 6 center in the league as a rookie. To know that Kevin Zeitler, who's always rock solid, is back and healthy. To know that Morgan Moses can be coached up and produce even at a higher level at that right tackle position. To know that JK is coming into an off season healthy, or well, a new season healthy. To know that Gus Edwards could be coming into this season healthy. To know that Justice Hill is healthy, because remember all of those guys were coming off ACLs last year. To know that there's a little guy in the backfield who's fast and twitchy, named Mitchell Keaton, who's making a splash. You see, to know those things, to know that Mark Andrews is coming back for his 6th season as a perennial Pro Bowler, all pro caliber guy, to know that Isaiah Likely has 1 year under his belt and has a super uh, um, talented mentor in Mark Andrews to teach, to hear some buzz about Charlie Kolar in that 3rd spot, replacing Josh Oliver, to know that he has some buzz around him, even in that 3rd spot. You see, there's nothing at this point that I've heard that's going to be disappointing, right? And that was just offense. To to think that Ben Cleveland is finally going to earn his stripes on the field versus in the training room or on the sideline is a big deal because he's a big, powerful guy. He's like 6'6", 330 plus pounds. And everything I heard about him, from his draft and his first year, that he's strong and powerful, good run blocker, but we have not been able to see it. So to know that all of these things can begin to come together today on field is exciting. And let me say again, the most exciting part is that LJ is going to be in the building, right? Um, and that's just offense. I didn't mention a whole lot of defense simply because we understand what the defense is going to bring to the table, but let me not exclude them to know that we have a young guy replacing Marcus Peters, and not that Marcus Peters is gone. I'm not sure if he signed his contract with the Raiders or not, but even if not, Rock Yassin is an upgrade at that other position because he's a better cover guy. Right. And that's no knock to Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters is kind of a gambler, but Rock Ya-Sin is more of a cover guy. And we need that in a Mike Macdonald system. We need a more technically sound guy opposite Marlon Humphrey. Okay. A little shaky in the cornerback depth, but I think we handle that after June 1st, probably. To know that we have probably the best collection of safety talent in the league. And I'm not being biased because it's the Ravens. I haven't even got to the defensive portion of the AFC Beast series, but to know that we have a collection of safeties that is top notch. Um, to know that we do have the best collection of interior linebackers in the entire league. We have that with Queen Smith and Trent Simpson. And so Trent Simpson to get on the field today and just be able to learn and hear. I don't know if Roquan's going to be there, but to be able to hear from his linebacking mates and pick their brains and hear their perspectives, that's exciting. And so, you know, um, I'm not sure what the defensive line is going to look like, but it's exciting to know that all of these pieces are coming together today. And it really feels like a reset, right? It really feels like a restart for the organization to know that, you know what, we finally may be opening our Super Bowl window. Because I said clearly in about a month and a half ago that our window had not been open yet because we didn't have all the parts. And I think now we have a collection of talent offensively that can match what's going on defensively. And so, man, it just feels real cool. And so I'm super excited, man, to um to kind of hear what comes out of camp today, tomorrow, and the next day. To hear about the highlights, and so I'll be bringing that stuff to you. In fact, something I'm going to begin to do is I'm going to bring kind of a video most nights around 7:30 to 8 o'clock. My day by that time, my work day is over, so I can focus on making videos and to talk about the Ravens news, talk about OTAs, kind of a reflection. And so, man, I'm super excited about what's coming up. And then we still will get to the around the league stuff. Because after OTAs, we will go to a dry season again for about 3 weeks before mandatory OTAs happen. Then we'll go through another dry season mid June to July till training camp starts. And so, man, let me know what you guys are looking forward to hearing about this upcoming week, right? Let me know like what you guys are who better words who you guys are looking forward to hearing about in camp. Is it Odell? Are you wondering if Odell will show up? Do you want to hear about some more about Zay? Do you want to hear about Mitchell Keaton? Do you want to hear and see flashes of Trenton Simpson? Like who do you want to hear about a standout? Or is there a UDFA underdog that you're excited about that's kind of low key that you're looking forward to maybe stealing a spot on the team? So Super excited, man. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. As we push toward 400, man, do me a quick favor. Hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell as we push towards 400 subscribers, man. I appreciate what you guys do. Appreciate you guys participating in the comment section, man. I just wanted to, jump in here and talk to you guys early this morning. Not a lot of news other than OTAs coming today. So looking forward to seeing what the reports are. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.